extremely hard. Coach runs a great camp. We don't waste a second, and that gives us a chance to get better physically, get better mentally, demeanor-wise, the whole deal. So it's been tremendous, couple of weeks here, and just looking forward to shifting gears here and start getting ready to play meaningful games.
What's different about a Jim Harbaugh camp than many others you've been in?
Just efficient. Every second's accounted for. Players, coaches, you all know where to be. We all know we're taking advantage of every second, staying within the rules, and gives the guys a chance mentally to learn the system, which is an important piece for us. As I've said before, we put in the concepts in the spring, and now we're trying to master those concepts. We maximize our meeting time, and Coach does a good job of knowing when to crank it up and when to take it back. So, been great.
Who are some of the dudes so far in camp?
We got a lot of dudes.
Mm-hmm.
We got a lot of guys playing well. The guys that are fairly typical up front. I think Wormley's had a good camp. Taco Charlton's had a good camp. Brian Monet, in my opinion, is from here to here, from spring, and obviously he was coming off an injury. So Ryan Glasgow is a real deal, very physical. So we feel good about, a bunch of those guys. Rashawn Gary's certainly going to be in the mix, but he's got a learning curve as well. So we're happy with the front. At linebacker, the biggest thing with Ben Gideon is he's had to go from, being a contributing linebacker, playing some, to, it's his show. Not easy to do. In fact, hard to do. So I think he's done an outstanding job in that area. Roboleski, I don't know, probably doesn't run as fast as some guys, probably doesn't hit quite as hard as some guys, but he just finds a way to help us, so I'm very happy with him. I think Jabril's had an outstanding preseason camp, and Noah Furbush has the chance to be a real deal guy. Mike McCray continues to be steady Eddie, and Devin Bush is really doing well, and I'm happy with the young guys. Uche is what we anticipated as a pass rush guy. Annie's learning the Sam position better than expected. Devin Gill coming along as well, and Elise Mbasi. So those are the three rookies there. And in the secondary, those guys are all good players, the veteran guys, and the addition of Khalid Hudson. I think he has a chance to really help us this year. David Long, really happy with him. Special player as a freshman, and he's a professional. Comes in, notebooks open, taking notes, being sharp, doing all those things. So, and there's a number of guys. It's probably really unfair because I can't think of anybody that I'd like, oh, geez, I got to straighten this dude out. But it's been a good camp, and the guys are working hard, and that's all you can ask.
John, veteran players you talked about, they're on their third defensive coordinator.
Yeah, it's hard now.
I was saying, but how have those guys made that transition to yet another defensive coordinator?
I don't know. You got to ask them. I enjoy working with them. I got great guys now. I enjoy my room. I don't know. Maybe it's my age, whatever. I really don't care too much about all this stuff, but I do care about my room and coaching those guys and trying to get them to whatever their dreams are as a football player. That's what I'm focused on. So, you'd have to ask them, I guess.
Are you seeing a willingness out of them to learn?
Oh, yeah. They got no choice. But, for a lot of reasons. But, I don't need anybody to hold my hand. The bottom line is you'd like him to have that kind of a feeling and affinity towards what we're doing. I think we do. They certainly seem willing, and we're flying around out there, so that's a positive.
If you had to pinpoint one aspect of something that impresses you, with what's being accomplished with your unit, could you find one?
How much we've absorbed. I was came in and I had kind of like phase 1, phase 2, and then if I'm fortunate, we'll do phase 3. I'm in phase 3. So I feel pretty good about the learning curve and what they've been able to digest. We're not perfect. Hopefully we can get close to, the efficiency thing is what Coach talks about all the time. He just talked to the players about it, and it was, great points. And that's what we got to be. We got to be efficient, a week from next Saturday. So that's the whole goal, is try to get your guys efficient.
I think the Big Ten analyst said this is going to be a high-risk, high-reward defense. Is that?
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's a bunch of baloney.
Thank you. That's what it is.
Okay? At high risk, no. I mean, we just don't throw this stuff against the wall. You take it, oh, I'm going to throw it, run this play. Come on. We're not doing that. We look at the formations. We look at the personnel groups. We lean to be on the aggressive side. Whether you're running or passing the ball, we're going to have the ability, when we dictate, to come. That's what it's all about. And I can assure you that every one of the calls that we've made, we've done a kind of a thorough study. We'll at least have run it 100 times, okay? So we're not throwing things against the wall. It's not that kind of a scenario. I guess some people say it because you're playing man coverage and those kinds of things. Well, guess what? That's what Mike Zordich and Brian Smith, they're accomplished teachers. If you call that high risk because we're going to come up and play you like this, well, I don't call that high risk. It's just part of the deal. We're trying to make, one thing we believe in is we deny free access, okay? We're not going to play 8 to 10 yards off and let you play that game all the time. Now, you'll see us play off, but we determine when we do that. We do, we're going to be able to do it all, but I can assure you, I'm not just looking at, okay, they're going to run the zone read, and we're just going to throw this one against the wall and see if it works. I mean, too old for that.
With all of that said, how important is physicality, and how impressed have you been with where this group is?
There's been some days out there I stood behind the 9-on-7s, and that's 9 offensive players against the 7 defensive players. And, it's kind of a, cringe mode, both sides now. So, I've been happy with that. I think when we go, when your mark gets set, go, I don't have any question that we're going to go. But it's a fine line because you're trying to get Barney and Sally and everybody else to the dance. So, so there's a kind of a combination deal there that you got to, pay attention to. But again, Coach does such a good job of taking care of us. It's a non-issue.
Channing Stribling had a great spring. How's he played in the fall?
Good, really solid. I think the one thing that we've been able to get through to him is it's not just about, hey, defending out there, you got to come in here and work the run game. You're part of that deal too. But no, he's a solid guy, working hard, happy with him.
Thanks, Coach.
You said 2 old